Right.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to this fucking episode again of Genius Brain Podcast. The fucking card ran out earlier, so we have to redo these conversations and pretend like we fucking care.
We probably spoke for about 30 minutes already.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was only 10 minutes. it wasn't that long. It was only 10 minutes.
Well, we've been hanging out for over 30 minutes, so we've been talking nonstop.
Yeah. Well, we have a very special guest today. We have our little friend Jason Chen.
Thanks for having me, man.
That's right. You are actually not the shortest YouTuber out there.
Who is the shortest?
The funny thing is there's 3 YouTubers that are short that are very famous. It was David Choi,
Oh, yeah, David Choi.
it was Tim,
Yeah.
and then you. I've always wanted to see what it would look like if all 3 of you got into a fist fight. I want to see who was going to come out on top. I put my money. I think physically you're the strongest one. I think David is actually the craziest person, but Tim is Thai and he has big ass fucking hands. Tim's hands are like legit almost the size of my hands.
I'd probably just run, dude.
No, you have to fight. This is a death match,
have
fool.
to fight.
There's no
Oh.
choice.
It's Battle Royale. There can only be one short YouTuber.
Oh, okay. Depends on the motivation, man.
Because the funny thing is with Tim, like even though Tim is a shorter guy, he's always seemed a lot taller to me.
He has a big ass personality. Wait, out of the 3 of you, who's the shortest?
I don't know.
Is it Tim?
I feel like we're all about
I think you guys are all the same height.
Yeah.
What is your height for the people that don't know?
I'm a hair under 5'4".
5'4".
So if I wake up in the morning, I'm over 5'4".
You are 5'4" then. That's just your spine compressing throughout
Is
the
it?
day.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what happens though. Like I'm like 6'2" when I wake up and I go down to 6'1".
But my wingspan is shorter than my height. So I'm like a T-Rex.
Oh really?
Well,
Yeah.
that's just the Asian body,
Is it?
Yeah, Baby Tyson, dude, is what you are.
Baby Tyson.
isn't it? Because my torso's like very long compared to my limbs. When I sit down, I'm taller than like.
I think
That's how I tell black people. I'm like, I'm taller than you when I sit down. Because Josh is like 6 something, I guess.
Dude, Josh can touch his knees standing up,
Yeah.
dude. He has like a freaking
I think Josh was supposed to be
wingspan or something.
7 feet tall. But
Yeah.
then the rest of his body didn't grow and his
well,
arms stayed
he had
fucking long.
scoliosis, so it doesn't count because he had to fix his spine and yeah. so I'm like, I'm taller than you.
Yeah, Josh has like deceptively long arms.
No, it's crazy.
It's fucking ridiculous how long his arms
Yeah.
are.
But that goes to show that like you don't have to be tall to also get a girlfriend and all that stuff, because Tim's married. You have a long-term relationship. I don't know about David, but seems like he's a ladies' man.
I wish, dude.
No, the little David.
Oh,
David Choi.
Not me. I was like, okay, never mind.
Short guy, short. No, you already. Everyone knows you're with someone.
Nah, man.
I think David has game.
That's
I think
all.
David
That's
has
all.
game.
That's all fake, dude.
See him talking to girls. Yeah.
I don't know.
And you got with a girl when you were the fattest too.
It was the challenge.
that's
Was
real
the best.
game.
That was the best. I've never actually seen David Choi around a girl. I don't know what it's like. Well, I've seen him drunk in front of women, but I don't know if that counts.
I've seen him around girls like in Asia, like on those trips.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's brave.
He's very brave.
He doesn't care.
Definitely braver than me for sure.
Yeah, he just walks up to him.
Is it easier to talk to women when you're in Asia though? Because I feel like a lot of those girls already know who you are. Not anymore. He is not. This is before he met his girlfriend.
It's easier in the sense that there's less pressure, because first of all you don't live there, so
oh yeah.
Oh, that's how I feel about
what's
when I
gonna
travel.
happen
Period.
if they say no? Like, you know,
you just go back you're gonna go back home anyways.
yeah.
Jet lag gives me courage.
Jet lag gives me alcohol gave me a lot of courage though.
Alcohol gives me courage as well. Yeah.
Because you just say whatever you want, you're like completely inhibited, and you just uninhibited, and you just go out and you say whatever, see what happens.
And also back then you could kind of blame it on it. You can be like, oh, I was just
I was
too much
drunk,
to drink.
dude.
I mean, today it's not an excuse anymore, but 10 years ago, people would be like, yeah, he just had a little too much to drink.
Yeah, he was a little drunk. I know he grabbed your ass and he fucking went under your skirt and pretended that he was a lampshade, but it was only because he drank a little bit. We had a show back in the day. Have you guys had shows together before?
Yeah,
couple, yeah.
couple. But
Did you guys? Were you on part of that fucking disastrous Australia show?
I didn't do that one.
But I went the year after.
Was that a disaster too?
No,
Really?
Yeah.
Same venue and event.
I believe it was the same promoter.
What was it? What was the event called?
I don't remember. It was so long ago.
What the fuck?
but I heard about that one. You guys didn't get paid out and all that stuff.
I actually got paid.
Oh, but a lot of other
The
people
year
didn't.
before, it was
Yeah.
like way more people, and I don't think they got paid.
I did one. totally unrelated to you guys, but it was supposed to be like the VidCon of Australia. It was done by this guy that does events, and he was such a half-assed businessman, and he was panicking the whole entire time. I actually got into a fight with him,
Damn.
a yelling match, not a fist fight. But I made that fucker back down because I felt like, like sometimes you ever get this when like there's guys that think they can have one on you, and then they can kind of like act like aggressive.
Yeah.
Oh, all the time, and I just
Yeah.
let it happen because I'm such a little bitch.
Well, that's I think that's the thing. Like he was like a taller, older white guy, and I think there was a miscommunication because like there was supposed to be some media coverage, and then there was a news reporter, and then all the YouTubers went down there, and then he wanted all of us to kind of be there to talk to the news, and it was so disorganized, so fucked up, right? No one knew it was literally like a TanaCon. It was like some fucked up shit. It was ran all by volunteers that had no chain of command, didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Jesus, dude.
They had a whole convention center. Barely anybody was there. He was panicking because he thought that the YouTubers alone could bring everybody. He's all like, I spent millions on this, which is fucking complete bullshit.
Yeah.
Because if you did spend millions on a convention, you're an idiot. And it was a very small one. So just from what I watched, I was like, this guy's lying off of his ass. He's panicking. He's yelling at everyone, saying like, I'm losing millions here and all this stuff. And anyways, so like he wanted like news coverage, hoping that like somehow, this will be reported on news, and all of a sudden like droves of people will come in. And I'm like, this is stupid. It's not a part of the contract. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, hey man, we've been here for 30 minutes. What's going on? Like, are we going to get interviewed, or do they need us? Because I'm going to go back to the green room. And then I didn't get a response, and I saw him like zigzagging around the floor. So I was like, fuck this. And I started walking up, and people started following me. So when I was up there,
Up to the stage or up to the green
no, I
room?
went back to the
Oh, okay.
green room. So I went to go to the lounge area. So I was in the lounge area, like, and then that's where all the YouTubers were. There was like Smosh. There was remember Alpha Cat. There was like our group. There was like YouTube, like Australian YouTubers like Choni and all them, and they're all just hanging out, like just waiting, right? Because we were supposed to have meet and greets and shows and all this, and it was just so fucked up. But anyways, he came up, and then while I'm on my fucking laptop and working on my shit, he just starts like yelling at me. And then he's all like, man, you know how much I'm spending millions here and all of this. And then I turn around. I said, who the fuck are you, motherfucker? Because I didn't know he was the person that put it all together.
Right.
And then he just stopped. And I was like, who the fuck are you? Yeah, I was like, what the fuck do you think you're doing yelling at me like this shit? He goes, I put all this together. I was like, you're a fucking idiot. I was like, you brought all these fucking volunteers together? You're not paying anybody? I don't give a fuck if you're losing millions. I was like, don't fucking come up to me doing that shit. I started yelling back at him. I don't think he was like expecting that somebody would yell back at him. And I started berating his ass, and I put my fucking finger in his face, and I was just like 1 inch away. I was spitting on him. Dude, I felt great. Cause like when people act aggressively like that, I feel like it just brings something out of my soul. Like I want to choke this person and make them die. I was just in shock that he was yelling at me. So the only thing I knew was to be a gorilla back, right? And then I just started yelling at this motherfucker, and then everyone was just like, holy shit. And he's like, yeah, I put all this together, and all I wanted was 5 minutes from you. And I was like, well, learn how to fucking respect people next time. And I just walked away. And then later, we were going through the same door. He grabbed the door, he opened it for me to come through, and he was like, please come through. And I was like, that's right, bitch, you fucking respectful. But you know what? I'm so stupid because after that, we had a contract where they paid half up front and half later. They never ended up paying the other half, but everyone else got paid eventually because I think he just, But was it worth it though? Was it really worth me not getting paid the rest of my money? Probably not. I don't think I'd do that again.
I think it was done gracefully and rightfully so. I think you would have been way better than me. I think if somebody just started yelling at me and I didn't know that was the promoter, I probably just would have socked him.
He was the guy that ran, he was the one that funded it, did all that stuff. I didn't know that. I thought he was just some one of the minions and volunteers. I didn't know that. But it doesn't matter. Like, it's even worse that if you're the owner of this and this is how you're talking to people that you hired.
That's worse, yeah.
It's even worse. And then I'm like, man, just because you're being incompetent and stupid, you're trying to take it out on someone. What if I wasn't aggressive? Like, what if I was like Jason?
Dude, I have a really short story for you guys. So in 2013, I went to Malaysia and Singapore to do like a couple shows with Clara, and we had a full band. And then the guy, we had previously worked with him and everything was cool. So we did like 4 shows in like 2 weeks, and then he just never paid us.
Oh no.
Damn. And then I just accepted it.
You just left it at that.
Yeah. I wish I could be like, I like.
No, I mean, well,
was in his face. I was just like,
chased
oh,
them. We
all right.
chased them, but we called. But I mean, like, well, there's nothing we could have done. You know, like, well, sure, we could have hired a lawyer, but I was just like, let's just give it up, man.
This podcast is brought to you by Public Rec, my friends. Think about the most comfortable pair of sweatpants you've ever worn in your life. They're probably raggedy as hell. And I'm guessing, and I'm betting that you wish that your regular pants were as comfortable as those sweatpants. And I'm always wondering, why can't they just make both happen? Well, guess what? Public Rec has got your back with the all-day, everyday pant, son. It's pants that look dope but have the comfort, my friends, and in my opinion, the comfort of sweatpants. And that's what I'm looking for, because I'm not trying to be uncomfortable at all, but I don't want to look trashy as well. And the all-day, everyday pant has that for you. Well, let me tell you something really cool about these pants. They're the first sweats that have waist and inseam sizing. So whether you're short, tall, or somewhere in between, they fit perfectly. The design details, like the elastic waistband with internal drawstring, the 2 deep front zipper pockets, and the faux front fly for a more formal look. They got you, son. They got that comfort, that casualness, and also the flyness as well. And that's why I rock the sweat pants, baby. So check it out. Right now, you can get an exclusive offer just for our listeners. Go to publicrec.com/brain today and get 10% off your first pair of their all-day, everyday pants automatically applied at checkout. And always with free U.S. shipping and free returns. Don't sleep on this rare opportunity to get a discount. That's Public Rec, REC, spelled rec.com/brain for 10% off. That's rec, once again spelled rec.com/brain for 10% off your order.
But yeah, so like in your situation, right? Like, what if he did that to you? I don't know. Maybe it's an insecurity of mine or something, but I feel like when anybody that's not Asian tries to bully me, I have to go 1,000 times harder.
What if they're Asian?
If they were Asian,
Yeah.
it's different. You know, and maybe it's weird because I feel like I have to go 1,000 times harder and be even more aggressive than them because I want them to know not to fuck with us. So I feel like I have all of Asia, fucking 1.9 billion people on my shoulders saying, don't fucking back down to this ass clown, you know?
You know, people do definitely do. Remember when we were in fucking Paris, and they do it also by size. Like, for example, when we were in Paris, there's a bunch of people outside of the Eiffel Tower. They want to sell you shit, right? Whether it's those like glow shit or whatever, and they're coming up to like Casey and everybody else, like, yo, buy this shit, super aggressively. But then, you know, I'm like 6'1", 6'2". They come up to me and I'm just like, nah. And they just walk away. Right? Yeah. But there's also a size thing to it. Because if you're a smaller guy, people always, they think that they could just punk you.
Maybe that's what it is. So like, I'm not that big. I'm actually, I think on the smaller side, just compared to like Westerners, right? I'm 5'7". So like,
yeah.
I feel like I went throughout life having to, like, I have short man complex, even though within Asians, I'm just average size. Mm-hmm. But like, I felt like I had to stick up for myself and be extra aggressive to compensate for the bullying. So then, like, because it's rewarded me positively. So if I'm extra aggressive to the point where like, oh fuck, this guy, I could lose a finger from this guy or whatever, you know, then they just, maybe they talk and then I'm like, okay, cool, I don't have to deal with anything.
It's so funny because I feel like there's like cultural difference too. Because I know a guy that he had he's pretty well off right now. He sold number one, his parents are already well off, but then he made his own company in clothing, sold it off, made millions and shit. But prior to that, he had another company where he was doing, I forgot what the business was exactly that he was doing. But long story short, his business partner stole millions from him.
Oh no.
This motherfucker, I kid you not. I didn't know him at this time, but everybody told me the same story about him. He's like a super nice guy. He has like a nice little small family and everything now. But they said that he disappeared for fucking 2 years to look for this guy in China.
Oh my god.
Disappeared for 2 years.
What was he gonna do? Just slap him?
He was gonna kill him. I think he was trying to kill him.
Oh my god. What? I mean, he has all that money. Why doesn't he hire a fucking assassin? Like,
Well, he didn't because at the time that guy stole everything from him.
oh, so he didn't have anything.
He reinvented himself and he made millions again. Oh,
That's
so
crazy.
2 years, stole everything from him, and he hunted him down in China, and he found this fool. Turns out that dude blew all the money, of course.
Yeah.
And the guy was a fucking bum, so he couldn't even get his revenge on him. So he was just like,
Wow.
fuck. He wanted to beat the living, and then whatever money he had left, he used that money to go find and hunt this dude down.
Maybe that was why he reinvented himself, because he was like, I wasted
2
all
years.
this time.
Yeah.
I could have been working on another business.
Yeah, and he sure as hell did well after that.
He could have been food vlogging for those 2 years. That's a lot of food in China.
He should have just vlogged his process of trying to find this
Well,
guy.
during this time, I don't think. Well, he's a lot older than us, but
Yeah.
YouTube wasn't around then. This was like in his I think late 20s, early 30s. So he's
Yeah.
like in his 40s now.
So when this all happened, this was fucking 7 years ago or some shit like that. Maybe, 6 or 7 years ago. So I don't know if I do it again. I don't know.
Oddly, I don't really get bullied.
You don't get bullied?
That's because you don't go outside, dude.
No, I mean,
look at you.
no one really bullies me like seriously. Like people will like lightheartedly kind of, but
Well,
no one
it's
has
not
ever
even-
come to my face and been like screamed at me or anything like that.
He also grew up in Arcadia too, right? In that whole area.
But I mean, like he's talking about like a show. Like I've never been in that situation.
No
where,
one's
like,
ever spoken to you condescendingly, because maybe I'm just a sensitive bitch and it's probably not that bad, but then I might take it that bad. But I just don't like people raising their voice, speaking
I've
to me.
seen people
yeah.
talk condescendingly to my girlfriend, and that kind of triggers me. But oddly, no one really does that to me. I mean, I can't really remember. Like David kind of makes fun of me, like you guys. But it's
Yeah.
like it's not like a
No, because we're friends. Of
yeah,
course,
yeah. It's
that's
not
not
like an
count.
aggressive kind of like I feel threatened kind of way.
Yeah.
Well, you know why? Maybe because you don't do things. So, for example, like if you're in that group, right, you would have just waited until you got orders instead of just saying, well, fuck you, and you walked away.
Yeah, probably.
See? So
Yeah,
you don't
probably,
do
yeah.
things that maybe upset
Yeah,
other people.
probably, yeah.
Also, too, is because we are comics, so
Yeah.
people feel like they could joke around with us
Sure.
when they don't have that rapport with us.
Right.
And that's where a lot of the times that kind of shit goes awry.
Mm-hmm.
Also, too, is because we put ourselves out there in that type of sense, so people feel like they have to match that energy when they really don't have to, right? There's this online personality, there's this camera personality, and yeah, I'm very similar to my camera personality, but it's like those are performance parts. Right. And sometimes people they blur those lines a lot, and it causes a lot of problems and frictions. Like, for example, like when I was at a show and we were taking this photo, right? And, I'm like a joking ass, I joke around a lot. And, I give people hugs or whatever. This dude, as we were taking this photo, he comes up, and as we're taking the photo, he fucking grabs my ass.
Okay.
Immediately, I slapped him upside the head.
Did you fucking boom slap his
Full,
face?
I slapped him upside the head full
like from the back.
fucking force. He's like, oh, he went, oh. And I was like, don't fucking touch me, dude. I was like, don't be doing that shit.
What did he do?
He apologized, but I was pissed. I was like, because he's trying to be funny, right? And it's like, if Bart touched my ass, that's okay. I know Bart. That's my brother. You know what I mean? You don't touch me like that. I don't fucking know you, dude. Like, it's like that same concept of like, would you touch a girl like that? You probably wouldn't. And if you did, you probably should get fucked up too. But people blur those lines a lot, right? They kind
It's
of look
because
at,
they're too comfortable.
yeah, a little too comfortable,
That makes sense because if someone came up and grabbed my ass, that would just be really random. You know what I mean?
I
It
also-
would just be like they would just have something wrong with them. Like
Yeah.
that wouldn't even be understandable. With you, I kind of get it.
because
It's
they're trying to
like-
be funny.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, buddy,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
do gay jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really what it is. And I'm like, and it wasn't like I thought about slap. It's just automatically I just went bop, because this is what I would do
It's
in
a
a reflex.
reflex,
It's a
right?
reflex. The guy just fucking squeezed my ass. Thank you, but still, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck was that
Did it
about?
feel good though?
Honestly, it felt like a Trump grope. Like, 'cause it was like a claw. You know what I mean?
I feel like some people do that shit though to like get you to remember them?
I don't even remember his face. I don't remember anything about him. I just like, you're the guy I slapped. If he told me like, I'm the guy that grabbed your ass, then I probably remember him. But if I don't remember his face at all, whatsoever, at all. It's hard to remember people, man, because you meet so many people. Yeah. There's somebody that I saw recently. Now, this person, I know that I had rapport with her because I did a college show enough times with her there that I met her a couple of times. I think she was one of the organizers that brought me out. Well, she lives in LA now, and I see her a couple of times around this area, like that I live in. I have no idea who the fuck she is, but she knows who I am. So every time I see her and I have to introduce, I don't remember her name. I don't know what college I saw her from, and I don't know why we have such good rapport.
Well, it's hard because in one meet and greet, you'd meet someone. There's 300 to 800 people that show up sometimes.
Yeah.
So you try giving that kind of attention and then remembering someone that you met for about 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes max. It's difficult, dude.
Yeah.
Even if you have interactions with like an event organizer that like brought you out or whatever, and you spend a day with them, right? Like we're meeting thousands of people every year. So,
Yeah.
And on top of that, they don't know how much drugs I've done.
Yeah.
A lot of the times I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't remember you, but like it's not because I'm Mr. Famous, it's because I have bad memory.
Dude, events aside, I think I went to Nick's boxing thing maybe like 4 times before I remembered like the other guy's name.
Yeah, it's because
I just don't remember.
You have to really put it to memory because
Yeah.
we're just kind of like in the moment.
See them multiple times, like see them. Yeah.
How I've learned to do it now is like if I really vibe with somebody at a show and I'm like, oh, we could be friends. When I take their contact in my phone, I give them a nickname. Like there's this one girl, her name is so it'll be like Jessica Chinky Eyes. I'm not even serious. I'm not even fucking around.
She's not even Asian.
It helps you remember.
It helps
like,
me remember because I was like, that's right. She had really, really tiny eyes, and she was from Alabama. Like I remember. So I'll put the college that they were from, like some kind of physical attribute that I remember about them, or something weird that they did, and then it helps me remember them a lot. Because I'll tell them like, yo, when you hit me up, and if you ever come to LA, yo, we'll go grab a meal because you were so hospitable towards me when I went there. So, but I have to do that. I have to be like James Bad Breath Kim. You know, that's how I'll remember the rest.
Do people take you up on that?
Not a lot. I think maybe they're a little apprehensive about it. But the hard part is when people come. When I go out to a show, I'm yours, right? Because that's what I'm there to do.
Yeah.
But when I'm here, I'm still working.
Yeah.
So it's hard to kind of match up.
It is hard because I feel bad when friends come visit LA and I can't give them the same type of like hospitality that they give me when I'm in their city. Because it's like our buddy Nancy from Hawaii, right? Like every time we're in Hawaii, she's like always hanging out with us, driving us around, like. And then for us, when she comes down, like I could probably meet up for like a dinner or two, but then I can't do the same thing where I'm like hanging out with her.
Yeah.
And that's the same for a lot of people. And I'm like, man, it kind of sucks because I feel like I'm not being a equal friend.
Yeah.
Where I can do the same amount of effort. And it's only because when we're in LA, like we're just close to our work, so close that like our regular lives don't allow that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because for you, when you do music, I mean, first of all, you were an accountant first before you became a musician, right? Yeah. Which is such a weird...
From numbers to love.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a weird trajectory. Were you always singing since you were a little kid, or was that something that happened?
I started singing at the end of senior year in high school.
Oh, really? How'd you figure that out?
I was terrible. I was singing. I just wanted a creative way to ask this girl to prom.
And then you did it through singing?
Yeah.
Why didn't you just fucking ask her?
Because
that's like learning how to hula hoop and shit.
honestly, I was really insecure. I was really insecure.
No,
dude, in high school, I used to tiptoe in all the pictures.
In high heels?
I would like, I would wear like Air Force Ones, right? And then I would like
tiptoe again.
In the picture, I would like, like you do the thing where you're not tiptoeing outwardly, but you're like standing on the back of your
I've been
soul.
this tall for my whole life.
I would do that.
I was this height at the age of 12.
Yeah, I was just insecure, man. I was like, if I ask her, she's gonna say no. I got to think of some creative way.
I just want to hold that thought really quick because learning how to sing, it takes time, dude. Like it's almost like saying like, I want to get my 6-pack first, so she can't deny this.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's for her because you're doing something romantic.
Well, the thing is, I kind of figure if you do something that you're not good at, it's more of a statement than doing something you're good at. Like if you're a good singer and you go sing to someone, it means nothing because you're a good singer. You're just showing off at that point.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
So if I was going to do something now, maybe I'd like dance because I can't dance for crap.
So it shows like you're vulnerable.
Yeah.
It shows that like what you're willing to do challenge to get her.
Yeah. I was going the sweet route because I'm not a tall jock, so I couldn't do the
But
whole,
you don't have
like-
to be a tall jock. You just fucking make her laugh. Okay,
Well,
that's why I'm.
At the time, I
That's
was
right.
17 and
Okay.
just insecure.
I'm not
so
talking shit to your 17-year-old. I'm just trying to like understand.
He deserves that. I mean, I would say
Well,
that
that's
to him
dope
now.
though. Okay, so that got you into it.
But it worked.
And then all through, yeah.
So you got her.
I did.
What did you do? Record a track, or did you sing to her in
I
person?
sang to her in my car while we were waiting to back out because I took her ice skating and like in Pasadena actually, and it was backed up. The exit was backed up.
Yeah.
We couldn't back out of the car at all. And I was like,
What was the song?
it was actually a song called Holiday by this R&B singer back then called Raynard Silva.
Wait, you guys were already dating?
I don't know. That
No,
song.
So how did you
Super
even get her
obscure
in your
song.
car?
I asked her to go ice skating.
So she said, "Yeah,
Yeah.
She's
Okay.
already interested in you."
Bro, you didn't have to do the singing thing. She went ice skating with you.
So this is super complicated. She had already said yes to someone else.
Oh, so you stole her away?
But-
But I didn't know that she said yes to someone else.
So the singing is what put it over. She's like, I gotta go with this guy that
Yeah.
has like a vibrato because he could probably do this shit on my pussy.
It was
Oh my
it was
god!
actually a pretty interesting story. Yeah.
So she already said yes to somebody else, and she decided to go with you instead.
Okay, so this is the longer version. I didn't know she had said yes to someone else, so I asked her. She said yes. Then a couple days later, she told me she only said yes because I put her in a situation where she couldn't say no, but she needed to go with this guy. So I was like, okay. But then we hung out every day during spring break, so she changed her mind again. And then she was like, how about I go with you, but you let me have one dance with him?
Oh my god!
And I was like, all right, whatever, So then what
This girl
happened
got
was
too many options.
he disappeared for the whole prom except for the last song. So it's the fucking last song. And then like she goes to dance with him and I'm just like, oh dude, this sucks. This is the fucking last song of prom. I'm sitting here by myself. Yeah, so it was just looking back, it's pretty funny, but at the time it was pretty sad.
That's hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
So basically, the music is what's changed her heart, and that's why you continue to pursue music so you can get pussy.
Did you end up dating with her?
Yeah.
She became your girlfriend?
We dated for a while in college. Yeah.
I always tell people the same shit, dude, and I've said this since day one, and at least you're honest with it. Every time I talk to a fucking artist, right, who does dancing or music, they go, when I was a kid, and it's a guy, not girls. When I was a kid, I heard this fucking little fucking C sharp, and I was like, this is for me. No, you wanted pussy, and that's why you picked up the guitar. That's why you sang. That is, and there's no shame in that. They used to do that shit back in the olden days, where you had that guy sitting on a wall, the jester with the curly hat, he was playing his little fucking
Milady.
Yeah, milady. Can I play something on my flute for you? Then she starts taking off her clothes. That's just an ancient pussy getting remedy, dude. And I like that you're honest because that's why I picked up the guitar.
Really?
Same
dope.
reason,
Yeah,
dude.
that's dope.
Damn.
Same fucking reason, and it worked. I don't know why.
I never associated music with getting girls because I just grew up with it. It was like a family thing. Like my parents were musicians.
Oh,
and
that's
stuff
right.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
My mom was a musician too, yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, violin doesn't get you girls. At least,
never.
at least mine
yeah,
didn't.
I mean,
Maybe
I
other
liked,
violinists do.
I liked R&B and all that stuff too, but I had such a wide range of music that I was just thinking it was like another way to express myself, and that's probably why I didn't get into like deep into singing and things
Yeah.
like that either, because it seems like singing is there's a lot of romance to it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, for you too. I feel like that's such a late start to music.
Grew up in Arcadia. There's no like, it's aspiring singers there. Everyone's trying to like
Be a doctor.
get SAT tutoring and stuff like that. So
Did you learn about music through your mom then?
violin. So classically, my parents were like making me do music, but I never really enjoyed classical music.
Classical music's dope.
It's dope, but as a kid, that's not.
It's not fun.
I'd like to say violin is kind of like baseball.
I see.
Like, unless you're like number one in the world, like you're like a concert violinist, like you need like an orchestra to play with, right?
Yeah.
My friend's a really good violinist, but he was forced into it like North Korean style. So the age when he turned 18, his mom was like, you could quit violin. He went into the backyard, got lighter fluid, and fucking lit that shit in flames. And he says it was the most satisfying thing
That's
ever.
fucking crazy.
And I was like, why did you do that, dude? You're so fucking good, man.
And that's just hell expensive. You
I would have done that if my violin wasn't expensive.
Because violins are expensive as
Violins
fuck,
are
man.
Yeah, he was like, it was the most satisfying thing. He's like, I'm never gonna touch any of that shit ever again. And I'm like, oh,
I wish I would have continued piano because I can't remember to play that shit.
I wish I learned piano instead of violin, honestly. And it's kind of sad because my mom was a piano teacher.
oh,
But we couldn't get along when she was trying to teach me.
that's difficult, man. When you're learning from your own parent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go somewhere else.
So interesting because you started music so late. Did you self teach or did you get a lesson?
I've never actually I took a lesson like randomly last year just because I was curious what people teach. But no, it's completely self-taught. Learned by trial and error. I like sang incorrectly, got like vocal nodes and just kind of figured it out.
You got
slowly.
vocal notes?
Briefly, yeah.
How long did it take you to like start singing comfortably in public and recording that shit?
Not that long,
Like a year or so?
probably.
That's crazy that you had vocal notes though. That sucks. How did you develop that?
They weren't serious. Like I didn't need surgery. I just needed a rest.
How could you tell that you got it?
I'm gonna go look at a specialist.
Did you feel funny or what was the sign that you had them?
My voice was just always really tired. It's kind of like if your knee is fine when you walk around, but you jog like one block and you're like, my knee hurts, something's wrong. So you check it out.
So every time
then-
you sang, you're like, something's not right.
Like normally I could sing for like 2 hours, but I'll sing like 2 minutes and I'll feel really tired.
Oh, that's that short. I was like, you can sing for 2 hours. Well, Jason has this really weird. I call him like the boy with the fucking. You have like a compressor in your fucking vocal throat. I don't understand because like you could control your notes. So if you see him record his track, his fucking waves are like this solid fucking wave.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it's like this little solid fucking wave, and it never changes. And every time he sings like a new note, he goes, "I don't like the way that is." And you see his waveforms, it's the same. And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? It's exactly the same.
I do it so much that I kind of get used to it, but yeah.
It's such an odd thing that you do though, because like I know like everybody, like for example, somebody who has trouble controlling the power in their voice when they record in the booth is fucking Joseph Vincent.
Oh yeah,
He fucking screams into the mic. I think this was years ago though, but when I remember when I saw him recording, I was like, he didn't know how to record on a mic. He didn't understand how to pull it back, so it would just be so abrasive, you know.
So that it's interesting you bring that up because performing and recording is completely different.
100%.
Like
That's why they
Joseph
say
Vincent is a
recording
freaking panty dropper performer wise. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure he's a lot better at recording now because he has a setup at his place and he records.
So is it like being able to perform with acoustics, right? Like just acoustic guitar, acoustic vocal, whatever, in a room that you can hear like in a small space without a mic or whatever.
Not really. It's like when you record something, you have so many takes. Like you have infinite takes basically.
Right.
But if you're punching in a line, you have to remember how you sang it previously. Oh. Which comes back to what David said. Like I will remember, I know this is how I have to sing it.
Yeah.
Or if you do layers or stacks
Right.
or harmonies, you got to sing it a specific maybe area or whatever. If you perform it, you just go all out for one time.
Mm-hmm.
If you mess up, you move on. So like I'm a much worse live performer than him. But I mean, I can't say anymore because he's probably improved a lot through the years. But in the studio, I'm a lot more seasoned in like knowing like how far the mic needs to be, when I need to lay back, when I need to like add breath or whatever.
Yeah, that studio recording is a fucking bitch though. I fucking hate that shit. I hate recording. In
You
a
like
studio.
live better?
Yeah, because you get away with a lot more things.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, you just get away with anything and everything, especially if you just have like a couple effects on it and you have some reverb to it, you're fine.
Should be a car karaoke specialist.
Because when you record in a booth, what'll happen is it just picks up every little nuance in your voice, right? So if you're flat, if you're sharp, it's highly apparent. Obviously, you can melodyne it, which is fine, but it bothers me a lot. It always bothers me when I'm like, I guess that wasn't the right key that I was singing this whole fucking time. And then when I put the track on, I'm like, I'm fucking flat. I had no idea. Until I started recording.
Yeah, and then also when you release it that way, it means you've had infinite takes
Yeah.
and had time to change and polish whatever
Yeah.
you
So
want.
how can you perform what you just recorded?
You put it half a step down, and you're fine.
Oh,
You just do it. You just do it, man.
even if the octave's high as fuck,
You
and
just
you're
do
like,
it. Yeah.
Not me, dude. I put that shit fucking a couple octaves down, and I'm pretty much good to go.
You can't dance while you sing.
Can't
dude, that'd be dope,
even
Jason.
dance like when I'm not singing. Dance while I sing. That's
Can't
it.
even dance. Period.
Yeah.
Do you perform when you perform? Do you perform with like a not an orchestra but a band, or do you do tracks?
I do neither. I usually do an acoustic set, like a piano player or a guitar player.
Oh, what?
Because
Wait.
a band is a huge production, man. Like you're depending on like 5 or 6 people to do perfectly.
And most of your shit is international, right? Because you're fucking
Not
famous in
necessarily.
Asia.
Still do like some college shows and stuff.
I remember like 7+ years ago, I was in Malaysia and I went to this like hole in the wall Chinese restaurant, got some fucking good ass Hainan chicken, and your like picture was on the wall next to the fucking toilet, and I was like, what the hell? And I had to send it to this guy, and then like next day I see him on a fucking bus stop, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? This guy's a mega star in Asia.
I think I had a tour there that specific time, so you probably just ran into that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not in billboards here. Like that's a big fucking
See,
deal.
that's the cool part. When I mean, I'm sure you too. When like YouTubers, American YouTubers go to like Asia,
I never got on a billboard.
but we go to like their top radio stations.
Oh.
We go to like their top like news outlets.
That's true.
You know, when we go to like New York, we just go to like whatever schools, you know,
Yeah.
news thing. We don't
Universities.
go to like Power or like Kiss FM or any of that stuff. So it's like, and the excitement level they have there, like when you perform live, like Asia crowds are just way better. They're just way more excited.
Taiwanese Justin Bieber, dude. That's what you are, dude.
Taiwanese
Justin Bieber, dude.
So when you perform out there, do you hire or do you bring like a team or like you have background
I just go with one guitar player, one piano player.
and then they play guitar and piano while you sing?
Yeah,
And is it all cover songs or originals or what?
covers and originals. Yeah,
How long's your set?
it depends. Usually, the longest I've done is like an hour and a half. Generally, it's like
How the
45
fuck
minutes.
do you sing for a fucking hour and a half, dude? My voice would be tired.
You should play a game of Mafia in between.
So I usually sing
That'd be fucking funny.
15 songs.
You sing 15 fucking songs?
Dude, that's like
that-
full songs?
Yeah, but that ends up being like an hour and a half.
your voice your voice doesn't get tired? I get tired after like 3 or 4 songs.
It gets tired, but
It's
I
because he
make it
doesn't do the
through.
runs like you, man.
I make it through.
Fucking too much extra shit.
Wait, so so most people when they perform, they'll do like they won't do the whole song. They'll do like, you know, like fucking a hook, verse, hook or whatever, and then they'll stop. You do the whole like 4-minute song or whatever.
Usually, or if it's a maybe like a medley, I'll do like verse, hook, but then it'll still be like 3 or 4 minutes.
Damn, dude.
But see, that's
You work
that's
extra
why-
hard.
That's why I like having less people, because if I get tired, the piano player, guitar player can like speed up, slow down, like whatever. I can just look at him and be like, all right, let's do one more. Let's like do one less. It's easy to communicate, right? Like if you have a whole band, then you're just stuck with it, right? Especially if the drummer just starts off way too slow or way too fast, you're just screwed. Like the whole song is just ruined.
You have been so consistent uploading on YouTube since the day you started. You don't ever get fatigued?
I'm fatigued all the time. Yeah.
But you don't miss shit, though. You
He's
don't
like Bart, dude. He's disciplined as a motherfucker.
Yeah, he doesn't miss anything.
He just keeps going.
Because I got fatigued. I disappeared for 2 years.
So this is the thing.
Me too. We're on the same depression levels.
I get depressed too, man.
Yeah, but you don't stop
But
working.
you don't stop working, though.
Yeah.
You're addicted to fucking money.
You know what it is? You know what it is? Wait, when I met you, you were moving boxes. Right? You're loading boxes, right?
Oh yeah, I was working a 9 to 5 job.
Yeah, you're working loaded 5.
Yeah. I was working at the warehouse. Yep.
I was doing accounting, and I live in Arcadia, and my job was in Century City.
Yeah.
So what that means is I woke up at 4:30.
Yeah.
I drive to work, get there at 6, and I clock out at 7 p.m.
Fuck, man.
Drive back 2 hours, get back at 9, right? And I'd make like $2,000 every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I see it like I've been through, like I understand the whole fatigue, the burnout, especially the creativity. Like it's so hard for me to write because I have no inspiration. When I do like covers,
Can I write you
I'm
songs?
just like, yeah, dude, for sure.
I'm gonna
man.
make your next album.
Please.
Yep.
I wrote a song about boba. I think you guys are gonna not like it, but
I'm gonna write you a song called Stinky Tofu.
that's dope.
I'm just kidding.
Dog, that should be fucking funny, dude.
But what I mean is like the alternative, right? I think like thinking about how much worse that was and how dead end that was.
It's
I
just
feel
being
like
grateful for the opportunity
it's
that you
more
have.
like being grateful.
See,
and,
because
like,
I mean, I've been through shit jobs and like same situation. Like I used to live in El Monte. Not that El Monte's a shit situation, but I was living with Bart's dad, and he was letting me rent a room from his house. Woke up at 6, drove to work, hour and a half, did the same thing, but like just doing it for so long, I forgot what I had to go through.
yeah. I don't think I've ever forgotten.
See, so you're still traumatized, where
yeah.
I'm like, I'm just kind of like, I don't know, man. I'm in the moment, I think is what it is. I'm not thinking back at how hard it used to be. Like it'll come in from time to time, but I'm very much not afraid of the past or anything like that.
Because the reason why I'm so curious about it is because music is such. I mean, for me, anyways, when I all this stuff is very emotional. Like just
Definitely,
being
yeah.
able to do that.
Sure.
So like if it was something as simple as punching in numbers and doing that type of stuff, I could go through the fatigue because I could just shut my brain off.
True.
And just go through
It's
it.
very robotic.
Yeah, and if whether I'm angry or sad, I could still get that work done. But if I was like pissed off or upset, it's super hard for me to create art. That's the hard
Oh
part.
man, it's going to that point. Sometimes I'll be pissed off and I'll have to do like a happy song, or I'll be super happy and I got to do like a really sad song. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's tough. But man, the alternative though, man.
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's able to shift it.
Yeah.
Where like, if I'm just like, for example, like I stopped vlogging for a long ass time because my things weren't going well in my relationship and life and business and family and everything, right? Like it felt like everything was crashing, and then the burnout, everything added together. So I'm not even thinking like, how do I snap out of this? I'm just like in it, and I'm just like, fuck, man. I know I need to record right now, but something in my mind isn't like doing it. It's so weird. Like I could approach this when it comes to working out. So I think that's the only stable thing that I had going for me, where I would like, oh yeah, I still need to go to training once in a while, but I'm not going 1,000%. So I don't know if you guys go through the same thing too, but like when you're lost in the sauce and you're just kind of too depressed or angry or you're not in the right mindset, you'll go through the motions, but you're not giving it your 1,000%.
For sure, dude.
Right?
When I look back, so I admire you guys a lot because the gook, like all the stuff you do, you guys are actually passionate about, and I think it shows. I sometimes will listen to like a random video I did like 5 or 6 years ago, and I'll be like, I worked really hard on this, and I like, like now I kind of just, I don't do harmonies, I just do it one time. I'm like, all right, that's good enough, whatever. I just put it in front of a tripod.
Burnout, Jason.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying I do get burned out.
Okay.
I'm not passionate about it.
Yeah.
I'm not proud. Like anytime someone goes like, so what do you do? I'm like, oh, like nothing. Like
Yeah. That's it's
nothing.
very hard, right? Because
Yeah.
even like me, like if I do music now, it's because I really like the project, right? And then I'll put
exactly.
it out.
Like the track you did with Tim was super dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's because I really, really enjoyed it. But
Yeah.
there's, also there's other times too where I know that people want to listen to music. So sometimes I'll do a track and we're done recording it and I just spent like a couple days on it and I fucking hate it. And a part of me doesn't want to put it out. Like I say 80% of me doesn't want to put it out. But I know that people want to hear something. So I'll just give it to them anyways,
Because
right?
they might like it.
Yeah, like there's
Yeah.
a track that I did. It was like an old school R&B joint, and I was like, I don't really like this. Like and I think like because I didn't like it as much, it felt like my heart wasn't into it, and it sounds like that on the track. So I don't really want to release it, but I think people want to hear it, so why not, right? And it's hard because especially with doing covers for me, the reason why covers are hard is because the original artist, I already liked it already as it was. So what am I going to do to make this just different and unique? Like that song by Summer Walker, I did, instead of Girls Need Love, I did Boys Need Love, and I turned it into like this like house R&B song versus having to follow up with her shit, right? Which was hard enough as it was because I fucking love that song. But then how do I do that every week? Like I don't know. That's like,
See, That's dope though. So you guys are changing songs up that you like.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is I'm just doing what the charts say I should do.
Yeah, 'cause
that
that's what
I
people
may
wanna hear
not
too.
necessarily like. People might not even want to hear it. Like, how many people actually want to hear me sing a Taylor Swift song? Probably not that many.
But you'd get a lot of views because they do like it.
So not really. I've accepted that, YouTube is not doing well for me anymore. So
Did the algorithms fuck you too? Because they used to
I don't know.
to kill it.
People blame the algorithm, but I feel like sometimes it's just because I've been doing this for 10 years and I haven't changed. And there's like new people coming up who have more resources, who care about it, who are more passionate.
Yeah.
So I'm sure part of it's algorithm, but part of it's probably just fatigue. Like, people are probably just not into it anymore.
Yeah.
Right. But the new thing is kind of like trying to get on Spotify playlists. So
Which is fucking hard.
yeah, but then the Spotify playlist stuff that does well doesn't do well on YouTube.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's kind of like picking your poison. At the same time though, it just comes back to being grateful and just like, hey man, like this is better than complaining and like doing a 9 to 5. So I guess it's cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's very positive because you're just like, yeah. I mean, I could go back to being an accountant, but I rather just do music. And then it's like, what's the real big deal? Like,
Yeah.
this song is just fun to do.
Yeah.
It might be a top 20. It might not be like my favorite song, but like it's still just fun. Like it's a fun song to do.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like I said, music is just one of those things that I think one thing that you did very well that I know that a lot of our friends who did music that I was trying to get them to understand was that the hard part about music and what a lot of musicians do, they leave their fate into the hands of other people. Meaning,
Oh
that,
yeah, for sure.
you know what I mean? Like for example, you can mix, record, and do everything by yourself. How many of our friends know that they can't?
Yeah.
do that
You
shit?
control all the sound. So
Yeah.
you could, yeah.
So they're kind of waiting on other people to do things, right? And I never understood that part. It's like you understand that YouTube is a space where you have to do things yourself first, and then you create those opportunities where.
Well,
other
I don't
people
know
can do it for
any other musician that's as organized and disciplined as this dude.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, Clara does her own stuff too, but Clara's probably more on this side where when she gets fatigued, she has to take that artist break and then relax and try to come back to it.
The thing is, Clara's brilliant though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Clara's like crazy in the artistic way.
Yeah.
Where she can pump out some like crazy stuff if she's inspired. So for her to do like covers every week, because I don't even change my covers, man. Like,
You have a system.
I don't even change my covers. I just make it an acoustic version so I
Yeah.
can try to get on a playlist. So it's like even more dull. But
But
Yeah.
acoustics too. I mean, the reason why people like acoustics is because there's like this raw thing to it. Like I've realized that too. Like my best cover that I've ever done apparently was just one track that I did. It was this Ariana Grande song, and that shit is still climbing.
Honeymoon Avenue?
Yeah, that one's.
That was dope,
I
dude.
almost lost my testicle singing that song, dude. Like that shit was so high, man. And people are like, "Yo, sing that live." Impossible. Impossible. That shit took so many fucking takes. But then that one, it's an acoustic track. It's the one I did the least amount of work on, but it's the one that I like the most.
Yeah.
And it's the one that.
Dude, that song was really good.
Yeah, and people who were listening to that didn't even know that Ariana Grande sang that
Me
song.
neither. I had to look it up. Yeah.
Yeah, so
was dope.
it was a really fun track. And now it's like, now I'm trying to experiment and do other things with it. But I definitely still like the acoustic stuff because it's so raw. Like I like even as a listener and a creator, I like listening to people do acoustic renditions because it's so simple.
It's like a
I
stripped
like
down
that.
version of whatever all the production is just stripped down to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like live performance, acoustic, not so much like the pop version, like the fully decked out, like unless it's I don't know at a club or some shit.
It's so much easier to record to pop stuff though.
Yeah. You know, there's this crew that's getting pop songs and all that and making it like all funky, Scary Pockets.
Yeah,
Like AJ was on there. They're fucking dope, dude.
See, they're dope too. I
Yeah.
don't think I'd be bored or burned out if I did that.
No, because every single time, well, the thing is they keep the novelty alive
Yeah.
by switching out band members, singers, and yeah, I think shit like that. Because number one, funk is my favorite music genre, and then what they'll do is they'll get like all kinds of different singers to do different songs that are like from all like genres, like from R&B to like rock to like whatever, and then they make it all funky.
Yeah, music is just it's so difficult. And I think that's what people don't realize, like how hard music is, because there's so many moving parts to it. You know, I mean, obviously there's like one of the hardest things that a lot of people had to understand when they were going into music, that music was never always just about music. It has never been. It's always been a business, right? And there's a way for you to get your music out, but a lot of people didn't want to do that extra work.
They just wanted to sing, or they just wanted to play their instrument.
Yeah, and if you want, that's here's like
I think that's the bare minimum too, because if you think about it, there's a lot of musicians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That are good.
I forgot who said this. It might have been like Jay-Z, or it was somebody really big, right? But they said, if you just did it for the love of the music, then you could have stayed like out on Santa Monica and you could have performed your ass off and that would have been fine. But you wanted to make this artistry into a career. Well, now it's a business. So now you're trying to play this business game without doing the business part, and you're upset to why you're not doing well. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because if you wanted to keep it for the love of the art, then that's fine too. But don't be upset when it doesn't pop off the way you want to, when you didn't do your due diligence to make sure that it worked off on the other end, the part that you're not experienced at. And that was that. I think that's a hard part for a lot of people, whether it's music or, you know, when we do comedy or anything else. It's hard for us to take this pill and swallow it and say like, okay, I want to do it because I love it. But at the same time, we also just hate that business side because it takes the fun away from it.
The artist is conflicting with the manager.
Yeah. And whoever said that, I can't remember if somebody could find that out, but it was like, if you wanted to just do it for the art, then you should have just done it for the art and left it at that. But now you're expecting this fame and money to come along with it, which it wasn't a guarantee because you didn't work this side at all.
Thank God I love both.
Yeah. I think I'm too much to the business side though.
Really?
Yeah. So I think I'm, for the most part, I'm pretty self-aware. I would say I don't think any like artist would respect me at all.
Well, it depends on who you talk to, because I bet you a lot of artists envy what you have.
They might envy me, but they wouldn't respect me. And I have no problem. I have no problem with that.
Are you talking about like the music side of things?
Like if you're technically well, or like, I mean, cause like I think a lot of artists can respect your discipline and your approach to how you do things if they're real artists, because if they understand the work that you do to get everything together versus just your skill set, that's different. That's a different criteria, right? Or like how you like create. Like,
yeah, I mean, I think that's two separate things, right? Like maybe like you and Paul, or like Clara. I would not judge any of you guys, or I would completely understand if like people like you would be like, or like Dumbfounded, someone like that. They would not be like, Jason's dope. Like they just like, okay, yeah, he works hard, he's disciplined, but like,
I get that. But you're also not doing music in their genre. So like so for example, like other pop style, YouTube style musicians might.
No, I'm just saying, as someone who just has done covers for 10 years.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
It's hard because there is this stigma with people who do a lot of covers versus just doing original music.
Right. It's like wedding singers versus original artists.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which for me, I'm kind of like half on it, because if you guys have ever been to a fucking concert, like these dudes perform 30% of their set is other people's music. Like they'll do covers, like, cause it's like, where else do you think, what the fuck you think mixtapes were? Yeah. They're essentially covers. They just, covers before were called mixtape fucking shit. It was other people's beats, other people's shit, and you just did your own thing to it. And I think like that's the hard part, because there's two things that come from me, in my personal opinion. One is jealousy, right? Because you are, let's say, you know, if that was the case, they want that level of success that you had or have doing what they're doing right now, right? But the reason why covers do well is because people like to see what somebody can do with something that they're familiar with first. And then you bring in the original aspect to it.
I love cover music.
I fucking love covers too. Like, I mean, it's because original music is very hard to do, and you can't do it repetitiously constantly because it's hard to write music. I've been trying to write a song now for the past 3 months and I still can't do it. The last time I wrote a song was like fucking like 8 years ago. And I haven't done it fucking since.
It's because you don't work with me, bro.
Like I could write pop music very easy though, because pop music is very formulaic to me.
Yeah.
Right. So like I don't have to really think about like those James Fauntleroy type of lyrics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just have to sit there and just, you know, I love you. This is why I love you. I met you at this park. I fell in love with you at the park, and now we're in love. The end.
throw in something repetitive and catchy and
Yeah, and it's really
much,
quick.
yeah.
Like I wrote like this pop song back in the day, and it was really dope, but I just couldn't sing it. Right.
Yeah.
So I used to write music for other people all the time, but when it came to writing my own music, it was so fucking difficult because I wanted to be something different. You know.
yeah.
So yeah, I understand the whole aspect of you thinking that you know, if you are very self-aware, probably because cover artists do get that a lot.
Dude, I mean, I don't even respect what I do, to be honest. Like, shit, dude.
How come you never just tried to sit down and kind of reinvent yourself?
So this is the thing. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, you guys are all around my age, like 30-ish, over a little bit over. So now I feel like I have different priorities. Like I'm definitely not as ambitious as you guys. Like I'm not
ambitious.
You guys are ambitious, dude. You
No.
guys trying to reinvent yourself, do new things, and do it well.
that's a misinterpretation. I'm just a habitual hobby doer.
Yeah, me and him are actually very, very similar in that. Yeah. We're these serial hobby people.
I just obsess over things that I get into, and
When it dies, we move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, I mean, like I'm like for example, like, you know, David's been you know, he made a feature film, he's got into Sundance and all this stuff, but like I could tell you that wasn't his thing to be a writer, actor, director, and that's his identity. You know what I mean? So like when what you see on the surface is it might be like we're constantly doing things because we're passionate, but I'm just passionate about life.
Yeah.
Like I'll dude, if I was passionate about fucking stamp collecting, I would make that into an obsession and turn that into a business somehow or my next thing.
And then when we feel satisfied with it, we go on to the next one.
Yeah.
Like you haven't seen me try to make another film. And people always ask, it's like, yo, why aren't you trying to be like the next big Asian star out there? I'm good. You know, like if the opportunity comes, great. Like I'm still working on it, but that checkbox of do your own film has been checked now.
Yeah.
You know?
So when people see ambition, I just see we just like life, and I'm not a goal chaser. Like goals are awesome to have because goals just give you some type of direction to where you go, but I don't validate my self-worth in accomplishments. I just like to do things.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be someone above you and below you, and if you're constantly trying to measure yourself up out in the world, or like you need to like hit these goals or else you're not worth something, like I feel like that's just like a destiny to depression and failure.
Right.
like another example is, you know, people ask me like, how come you haven't, you know, done the full like stand-up comedy tour? Because I've been doing stand-up now for so long, you know, and when I was doing these college shows, there'd be like thousands of people there. And okay, so why do I have to go to the Dave Chappelle route? You know, I've gotten what I want out of this. I'll still do stand-up. I still do stand-up now, but I'm doing it because I enjoy it. Like I don't have this singular goal anymore of being like the best stand-up comedian on earth. That used to be my goal when I first started out, but then I started finding out, like when I started doing bigger and bigger shows, I was like, oh, it doesn't make me happy. Like I think I got what I wanted out of this, right? So then it was on to the next one. Then we started doing food businesses, right?
Yeah.
And that's where the passion is right now. Like I like doing food.
Food's fun.
Yeah, so now it's like, well, this is my next target goal, is to make sure that these food things pop off. So until the food stuff like really pops off, I can't move on from it yet. So
I want to be the best unknown YouTuber, the best unknown one.
yeah,
No one knows who the fuck I am, but like
Yeah.
the people that do watch me, they enjoy it.
yeah,
So I was gonna get to like right now what I treasure most is kind of like free time and just time to kind of do what I want to do, not post it about.
So you're probably in the stage where you are kind of screaming to reinvent yourself because you're just trying to find that next thing of what you care about.
Kind of, yeah.
you don't think, do you think that's still within music?
It could be, but maybe it doesn't have to be.
Yeah,
For me, I have like a fulfillment checklist. So like one would be just like a hobby that is sacred to me that I won't turn into a business, and I just do it for me, and that's martial arts or karate. And but that's a physical fulfillment, right? I have to have like an emotional expressing fulfillment, which is gonna be it's always been music. I just play piano or whatever, and I don't have to perform it or sell it or anything. Another one is business fulfillment, right? Like I enjoy making money and that's really fun, but I can't I'm never going to taint my like karate and other things with these things.
Right.
Because I've done it before, and once you mix it, it just gets all fucked up.
Yep.
Because I think like for you too, I know this happens with music a lot, and it's not like what you're particularly going through with your music is very unique to yours thing. Like look how many times fucking Kanye West has reinvented himself. Every album he reinvents himself, right? Because he can't go back and do the same thing over and over again. Because with your music, I feel like that you can do a lot of things that you haven't done yet, right? Like it's so you've done this whole route your whole life. Like number one, with your voice specifically, you have an ability to sing whatever you want. I actually don't have that. I have an ability to sing what I can, right? It's because number one, your control of your voice is really great.
Actually, I can't sing the R&B stuff like
You can though. You really can. You just have to get in. You just
Why
have
don't
to,
you take classes? Yeah,
you
ass clown.
You just have to listen to it more, and you have to get into it more. That's all that it really takes. It's like really like it's reps. It's like even for me, I have a very limited amount of runs. I could probably do more if I sat there, listened to more, and I practiced it. But I choose not to. Right. So that's the same thing for you. If you really start to love that music, you have certain artists that you like, then you follow them. My runs are literally based off of anything Brian McKnight does because I love Brian McKnight so much. Like my falsetto is literally a copy of Brian McKnight's falsetto. Yeah. So I have these artists that I emulate that I like. You just have to find that for yourself too. If pop music is not the stuff that really makes you sit there and be like, yo, this is dope, then maybe you
I feel like if you just find the music that you connect to, that you genuinely connect to, and then you can express yourself truly through that, the reinvention might be really just finding who Jason always was, and then you can write accordingly.
I think I just want to do more business. Like,
I know what you're feeling like.
I get no more joy listening to music.
I got like that with
sense.
JK.
Yeah.
I got too much like fun out, and I was like, it's time to approach this and make it into a business. And it was so fun doing that while I kept doing the comedy stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I think like you're at that point where you're like, all right, I just maybe want to take away and do other business maybe.
I might need some time focus on other stuff before I can kind of re-enjoy music again. Because right now, every time I listen to music, I'm just kind of like, I'm trying to figure out what sounds they're using that's relevant, what they're, like I'm analyzing it and why it might be good.
That's
and
like
why
me with skits.
So it's like, I don't even enjoy it. I'm kind of just listening to it and I have to like focus on like the elements of it. I'm trying to like reverse engine. I'm trying to Kevin Durant a ring basically.
Yeah.
And then it's not fun. It's like, it's boring. So I try to do a lot of hobbies that I don't want to vlog about. I mean, I might later on, but because it's kind of like what you said, like once you get any kind of business or kind of any other incentives involved, it just sucks.
Yeah.
Like I go work out with Bart just because I want to see if I can do it. Just because like, it's like so horrible that I want to see if I can make it out live.
Bart's program?
I don't know. When I go work out with Bart, I get like pretty destroyed, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys make it through okay?
I don't ever go there ever.
No.
I've been there a couple times and it's the worst experience of my life.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's actually much lighter now than what it used to be.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, his shit was pretty fucking rough, dude. I'd be debilitated.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult.
But that's cool though, because I know for me, like when it comes to hobbies, there's things that I like. That's why I hated vlogging. Like I used to vlog.
I hate vlogging.
That's why I don't have a lot of Insta stories. Like I almost don't know how to do it now, because when I'm in the moment, I'm just in the moment, and then the moment passes. I'm like, fuck, I should have recorded that shit. That's why when I have a Patreon now and I'm doing these live vlogs, I do it solely because they enjoy it and I understand that they want to see this. So it makes me happy to think of a creative way to create something for these people who are supporting me. That's why I do it then. But even within the Patreon, people are very supportive and they understand that I'm just creating just to want to really create. And that's where I get to test a lot of my stuff. Like I've done vlogs now where the format changed like 3 or 4 times already. And I'm just seeing if they like it. And because they're my tester pool. But
super dope.
Yeah.
I like vlogging.
I tried Patreon like twice and it never worked. So I just gave up.
I
was like, hey guys, support my Patreon and make new music. I got like 3 backers. Like, I forget it.
You probably have a lot of people just looking for the music and then they click your video.
Yeah.
So most of your fans are just like coming through.
Clicking and listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So that's why you got to start vlogging so people understand who the real Jason is.
Man, it's tough, dude. But yeah, I mean, business, man. I mean, that.
So what do you want to do in business? Real estate?
Anything, dude. I mean, lately I've been looking at real estate just because interest rates are so low. It'd be really dope to get like some rental property now that won't like where the property value won't fluctuate and matter that much in a crash. But I don't know. That's pretty fun for me, actually, like looking at properties.
You know,
right now.
finance YouTube is like killing it right now.
Yeah.
You know that Graham Stephen?
Graham Stephen, yeah.
Yeah. That fool's getting like, I don't know, like $17 CPM or some shit.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts.
It's pretty awesome, yeah.
I don't know. I'm too lewd for YouTube. I think YouTube hates me. I think they just like it has to be very clean and precise.
Yeah.
I'm a very lewd person.
Let's be very brand friendly. Very.
Fuck that, dude. I can't do it. I will shoot myself in the fucking face, dude.
I feel like there's gonna be a time when the bots are gonna be so good they could hear the conversation and be like flag.
Doesn't matter though. You guys got Patreon now, right?
No, I still need more. Patreon
really?
doesn't cover everything.
Yeah, Patreon, like honestly, the money that I'm getting from Patreon literally only pays for the people to edit these videos.
Oh, really?
That's really about it. Yeah, like it's not some like egregious amount of money, and whoever supports, I'm very grateful for it. Like if there's literally, if I didn't have to have a Patreon, I would have never opened a Patreon, right? But people like uncensored content. And if I can't change that format, then I need financial help, because other than that, I'm not going to make money. Because even if it does get monetized, it's the lowest amount of CPMs ever, the lowest. So, I had to make that adjustment, and the people who are supporting it now is keeping this channel afloat, is keeping this going. Because if not, then I could.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. So thank you very much. Fuck, man. Well, guys, that's an hour in, dude. We're wrapping up that podcast. You guys can catch us on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes. Jason, where can they find you?
Spotify, iTunes.
Jason Chen.
Jason Chen, music extraordinaire, 5'1" of all sexy Chinese, Taiwanese goodness. You guys could, if you guys see us on iTunes, give us that 5-star. And then, guys, we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you very much.
Peace, bitch.